including amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together. Let's celebrate the passion of Africa together. Total Energies AFCON. Follow us on our social media handles, Total Energies GH, for more information. It's an interactive show. 054-998-6996. There's a big meeting today.
Yeah, man.
In response to a lot of the noise we've been making since Thursday. And I want to start from there. The Bank of Ghana is meeting the GRA and other agencies, including the banks and the telcos, following the illegal charge saga. Illegal charges and wrongful collection of e-levy scandal. So today, Tuesday, the 6th of February, Bank of Ghana officials will engage GRA, people from the financial sector, and also people from the telco sector to discuss the matter. Indeed, Samuel George, who is the Deputy Ranking Member of Parliament's Communications Committee, made that point clear yesterday during an interview with Citi News in Parliament. And I think the matter is getting hotter. Good morning, Richard Sky.
Good morning.
Hello. Are you doing well? Ready for the show?
Yes, we're ready to fire this morning.
Yes. And so this morning we are told there's going to be a big meeting.
Yes, there has to be.
To look into the illegal or wrongful collection of e-levy for people who send money from their bank accounts to their wallets.
Yes.
And also the charges that banks have imposed on customers for essentially transferring money within their own bank to their own mobile money wallet.
Yes.
That's a big story this morning. The newspapers don't have that. The Ghanaian Times leads with something else.
Yeah, the vice president is busy talking about protecting financial data from cyber attack.
Okay.
And maybe he's not gotten the memo about what we have been discussing almost all week. So, Gideon Bako, please inform your boss. If he's not listening this moment, inform him that his baby is suffering for some problems and he has to deal with it.
All right.
Let me take you to the Ghanaian Times further stories on the front page. Danger looms. Accra Central congestion worsens. Kwame Nkrumah Circle, CBD, hardest hit areas. And we're told pedestrians, traders, and vehicles are competing for space on the streets in these areas. Also, thieves vandalize ECG transformer and they are stealing copper windings at Nkum Krum. And then the Lands Commission has improved revenue by 12% in 2023.
All right, the front page of the Daily Graphic says, Health Alert, high-risk meningitis period. Reports sore throat, headache, fever, bodily pains. 28 Greater Accra MMDC is signed performance contract. On the Common Core Curriculum, science students to skip core math, integrated science. And DVLA resolves online registration challenges, registers 25,101 vehicles.
All right.
The Chronicle says this morning, PAC orders AG to probe NSA. Police also told to pick up Northern Regional Director and accountant. Also, Alan Cash is selling GTP at Economic Summit. And Bernard Koku Avle was the main man anchoring the whole governance. And then the vice president and the Ochiman, they are remembering JB Dankwa. We're told in a couple of weeks or so, there will be a final funeral rite held in honor of the late, former Ghanaian hero.
Okay. All right. The Daily Guide says NSA director hot over 160K. Asante gold artifacts arrive. OSP returns Cecilia Dapa's money. And Yana is talking to Mahama. He says, don't come to make money.
The new finder says this morning, 110.8 million Ghana cedis injected into cocoa in rehabilitating deceased farms. This is according to the Cocoa Board, which has been under fire over the last few weeks or so. 40K in connection with attacks at Kweu Bepo. Or Bepong, right? Girl child education essential for national development, according to the second lady, Samira Baumia, and some other stories making the front page this morning.
The Daybreak newspaper says illegal occupation of office. Uforiata chokes, fails to go the Kofi Nti way. Other stories. Vice Admiral Seth Muammar retired, gets high commissioner job. FPU officers fret over Boku overstay, and Lands Commission deepens transparency.
All right.
Let me take you to the business analyst. Although people are afraid to invest in all kinds of instruments, we are told that T-bills, their auction has been oversubscribed by 59%.
Yep.
You know, your people in the economic sector have been warning us that we should slow down on how we are investing in that space. But it looks like people are still very much interested.
That's the main place government is getting money now. Short term.
Are
T-bills are rising very rapidly.
And if they say they can't pay again, then problem comes. BOG launches beta version of macroeconomic database portal. And the big story actually says economy to expand by 3.0% in 2024. Data Bank Research is making that forecast.
All right.
The graphic business says proposed taxes will hurt economy. That's according to some experts. Creative agriculture financing key to sustainable food security. Too early to give up on your New Year resolutions. That's a feature on page 10 of the graphic business. And finally, economic growth, a disrupted global recovery.
CitiNewsroom.com. Ghana is experiencing its worst, most punitive tax regime ever. Guess who's talking? Setekbe. Also, IMF is advising Ghana to strictly adhere to bailout program. FABAG is asking government to withdraw emissions levy and other taxes because they will worsen already acidic business environment. Very strong words indeed. Other stories. Kenke price hits 4 cedis in November 2022. Teshi was the last resort for a 2 cedi ball. This is a researcher. So if you want cheap Kenke, Teshi, very tasty but not expensive. In other stories, we will have the men to address Ghana's economic mess. Mahama says so. BOG to meet GRA over illegal Momo charges following Citi breakfast show advocacy. And police arrest 46 more people in connection with the Kwewu Bipong disturbances. Meanwhile, suppliers of uniforms to schools threaten to picket. Guess what? Over unpaid arrears. My joy online, they are leading this morning with 7 dead as tanker runs over Trotro at Amasaman in Accra. Very tragic indeed. Also, pillion rider, motor rider sentenced for failing to wear crash helmet. So that's an offense. In other stories, businessman charged with fraud and forgery of KMA letters remanded. And we are struggling. We need our money. Chairman of Oyibi COVID-19 free water suppliers. Everywhere make giddy, 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 giddy. Meanwhile, 2000 says Bawumia cannot be cleansed from Ghana's current economic mess. And then our Greek ministry ordered to disburse 1.8 million cedis to farmers affected by bird flu within a month. Star FM, VAT on electricity, organized labor notifies police on planned demo. In other stories, avoid applying rigid laws on people referred to you by political heads. Ex-COO tells court. And then King Charles III diagnosed with cancer. According to Buckingham Palace.
Long live the king.
Now, Class FM lead story, very bold claim. All ghosts have been exorcised from the government payroll.
Come here, my tank blog.
According to the controller, it says all ghosts
This one it can't be true.
have been exorcised from government payroll.
Oh, please. Something that Nkrumah couldn't deal with.
Well.
Even JJ couldn't deal with. Maybe the controller.
Yeah, that's the least.
He would have done some decent job, but as for all of them,
All ghosts?
that one I don't.
You don't believe in his powers of exorcism.
He's not a ghost buster.
Ghostbusters.
The big story everywhere else. I take you to Bloomberg, for example. People are worried about Senegal. Senegal lawmakers agreed 10-month delay to presidential vote. As a consequence, their bonds have sunk
Can you imagine?
because of the presidential election being postponed. And the lawmakers are also launched an inquiry into the election process.
African MPs.
Well, meanwhile, Zambia is set to start trading its own copper. They want to compete with Glencore. Keep an eye on that story. Reuters is also talking about Palestinians who Blinken visit can deliver Gaza truce before the Rafah assault. The King Charles diagnosis with cancer will postpone duties and undergo treatment. That's the story there. France 24 also talks about Senegal MPs voting to delay presidential poll, sparking protests. So that's a big story everywhere. Even allafrica.com is leading with that as well. If you go to the East African, they are talking about the diagnosis of King Charles with cancer. And then former president from Tanzania, Mwinyi, hospitalized. Treatment for chest illness.
Yeah, a couple of days ago, a Namibian president passed on.
At 82.
Yeah, 82, 83, thereabouts.
It's 82 point something.
So we wish our leaders all the best.
Yes.
They should be in the best of health, including King Charles.
Let's get into the details.
Okay, let me take you to the finder. This story about 110.8 million Ghana cedis being injected into the cocoa sector. Now, Elvis Darko reporting for the new finder says this morning that the Ghana Cocoa Board has so far spent 110.8 million Ghana cedis on compensation payment, tree cutting, replanting, and maintenance under the Cocoa Farm Rehabilitation Program. Now, an amount of 43.3 million Ghana cedis was paid as compensation, while 67.5 million Ghana cedis was spent on tree cutting and plantain suckers. Now, so far, 54 million, or is actually 54,000 hectares of cocoa farms of affected areas by the cocoa swollen shoot virus disease have been rehabilitated. Now, Cocoa Board bears the entire cost of the cutting, the treatment, and replanting and maintenance for 2 years before it is handed over to the farmer.
Let me give you that story context. This is good, but the big issue is the importation of cocoa beans from abroad. I need to tell you that Ghana is the world's second largest producer of cocoa. We harvested 650,000 tons of cocoa last year, which is the least in 13 years. Right? So this is since 2015 or so. No, 13. How long? 13 minus 24 is how much?
11.
2011. This is the least cocoa harvest in 13 years. There was bad weather, scarcity of farm inputs, and other issues which have led to a decrease in our import revenues. So that's a big story for you to look at. Let's come to the graphic.
Well, if you go to the graphic business, some experts are talking about proposed taxes. Now, they say they will hurt the economy. Now, these economists have advised the government to reconsider the introduction of the 50% VAT on electricity and the emissions levy, arguing that the move will harm the economy. Now, if you go through further details, the Ministry of Finance in December directed ECG and NETCO to implement that. We do know that more discussions or the story has evolved.
Let me give you two stories related. Former Finance Minister Tekbe has said that the current tax regime in Ghana is the most severe and punitive in the nation's history. The opposition NDC has accused the MPP government of introducing over 50 new taxes since 2017. The continuous imposition of taxes has sparked public outrage in Ghana, the most recent being the VAT on residential electricity usage and the emissions levy. Setekwe told Citi News' Majiman on Monday that the country's current tax regime is excessively high. I think we are seeing the worst of the tax system. It is the most punitive and the worst tax structure that we have had. And as with every tax that is punitive, you will end up not collecting or generating as much revenue as possible. Now, he was accused of introducing nuisance taxes, but now he's saying that the tax regime is the worst. Now, FABAG,
the people who accused him are doing the worst things.
Yeah, the FABAG, which is the Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, have joined the discussion around taxes. They are calling on government to immediately withdraw the emissions levy. In a statement dated February 5, FABAG said they believe the aspect of the tax that affects the industry is highly insensitive and anti-business. GUTA, TUC, GPRTU have all strongly opposed the emissions tax. FABAG, in a statement, insisted that the emissions levy is premature and will not achieve its desired results.
Okay, so let's stay within the financial space because the Ghanaian Times has two stories dealing with finance. The first one is concerns the Lands Commission, which we are told has improved revenue by 12% in 2023. A Times reporter writes this morning that the Lands Commission has raked in a revenue of 206 million Ghana cedis for the year of 2023, a 12% increase of 1 million Ghana cedis for the same period of 2022. Now, the second story deals with the data we have within the financial space. Kingsley E. Hope, reporting from Kumasi, says that the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has stressed the importance of incorporating cybersecurity measures by the Controller and Accountant General Department to protect financial data in the country. And according to the Vice President, it was a key area that needed special attention, especially especially with the increasing prevalence of cyber threats, to safeguard sensitive financial information to maintain the trust of clients. And
I am hoping the Vice President is also keeping an eye on this story, that the Bank of Ghana will engage officials of GRA and other stakeholders within the financial sector today, Tuesday, February the 6th, to address concerns related to unauthorized deductions on mobile money transfers. Over the past week, Citi Breakfast Show has been at the forefront of advocating for BOG officials to intervene and rectify the unauthorized charges reported by mobile money users. Now, speaking during a media session in Parliament, Samuel George, Deputy Ranking Member of Parliament's Communications Committee, called for a prompt resolution of the issue. He disclosed awareness of an upcoming meeting involving the BOG, electronic money issuers, telecoms companies, and banks. The discussions aiming to address the systemic issues associated with the LMAS system. Here's a quote from Samuel George. I am aware that post the work that the Citi Breakfast Show did, tomorrow there is a meeting where the Bank of Ghana, the EMIs, the telcos, and others will sit to have a conversation because there's a problem with the system that is being run, he said.
Okay. That's good news, but we'll keep the pressure on. Meanwhile, though, we are told that the IMF disbursement will keep Ghana's exchange rate stable. This is in the Chronicle. The business page on page 7 says that Fish Solutions, an international rating agency, says a gradual improvement in investor sentiment and a $600 million IMF disbursement will keep the exchange rate stable. So we're talking about the relationship between the US dollar and the Ghana cedi. Now, a report detailing interest rate and inflationary dynamics for 2024. In a report, basically, detailing interest rate and inflationary dynamics for 2024, the rating agency said it predicted that the disbursement and investor sentiments will keep the cedis at roughly 12.0 Ghana cedis to the US dollar throughout the first quarter of 2024. But how much is it on the market now? I think it's above 12.
It's above 12, just above 12.
All right, let's come to the graphic before I take you to some other stories.
Okay, now the front page of the graphic is saying that high health alert, high risk meningitis, period. Now, sore throat, headache, fever, and general bodily pains and others are symptoms of meningitis, which has a higher risk during the dry season. Now, the public is advised to therefore report to any health facility if they experience any of the above symptoms. This is to ensure early diagnosis of possible cases of meningitis for appropriate and early treatment. Now, this is coming from the Deputy Director in charge of surveillance at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Dennis Odailai, and he said the current dry season in the country had increased the risk of meningitis, adding that if the country continued to experience a prolonged Harmattan season, it would increase the risk of people suffering the condition.
Let me take you to a very tragic story. MyJoyOnline.com, 7 dead as tanker runs over trottoir at Amasaman in Accra. 7 individuals have reportedly died in a road accident on the Amasaman in Sawan Road in Greater Accra region. The incident Monday is said to have happened when a tanker ran over a trottoir vehicle, killing 7 out of 10 passengers on board. Speaking to Adom Online, an eyewitness, Alex Ankra, who narrated, said that tanker driver failed its brake and crashed into the commercial vehicle. The commercial driver slowed down upon getting to a section of the road which is under construction due to a hole there. Unfortunately, the tanker driver, which was behind, crashed into it and destroyed it totally. According to him, bystanders managed to remove the victims from the mangled vehicle, but most of them were not responsive. This happened yesterday.
Condolences.
Yeah, this is a road you know very well. We need to drive slowly.
That road is...
Now, let me give you the story that you say you doubt. This is Class FM. All ghosts have been exorcised from government payroll. This is the CAG who ran for MPP something and he didn't win. I think it was Akim Swedru. I'm not sure. Akim Swedru. So Mr. Kwesi Kwaning Bosompim, Controller Accountant General, has said that the national payroll database is now devoid of ghost names, thanks to the successful implementation of a comprehensive digital solution. The system incorporates the integration of Government of Ghana National Mechanized Payroll Database from the Controller Accountant General's Department with the National Identification Database. So GOG, CAGD, NIA. Now, here's the thing. The real-time biometric validation and verification processes have been decentralized to various CAGD verification centers nationwide, ensuring heightened accessibility and convenience. However, Mr. Kwaning Bosompim issued a caution that as of March 2024, any public servant or without a Ghana card risk forfeiting their salary. Speaking at the 2024 Controller and Accountant General's Annual Conference in Kumasi, Mr. Bosompim said the payroll database has been an active database all these years.
I see.
So right now, if you're a ghost, you won't get any money.
Yeah, so congratulations to the controller and congratulations to the government of Ghana.
Yo.
We hear that's good news. ICT is helping us.
Yeah, yo.
Now let me take you to page 9 of the business analyst on personal investment. We are told that there is a brilliant way of using artificial intelligence to enhance your investment portfolio in 2024. So what I will urge you to do this morning is to grab a copy of the business analyst, photocopy that page and then put it in your
Right.
office and read it every day.
Let me come to
enhance your
Nathan.
investment. But quickly though, they talking about the accident matter. We're told that the insurance sector was ranked last in 2023
Why?
customer service report. Now that story is on page 8 of the business analyst. It says the insurance sector has been ranked last in customer service according to the 2023 Institute of Customer Service Professionals Ghana report. Now the sector scored 61.45%, while the telecommunications sector came first with a score of 88.12%. Now, the hospitality industry and public institutions were ranked second and third, respectively, scoring 83.13% and 81%.
So,
according to
telco's number 1.
Yeah, the telcos.
Two is hospitality. 3 is government.
Yeah, public institutions.
And then 4.
And then 4, insurance. And I believe...
No, so was it only 4? Which one is number 4?
there are a number of other institutions here in the report.
But how many were surveyed before insurance came last? Because being last out of 4 is not the same as being last out of 10.
So the story doesn't have.
But they should have. You can't say somebody's last and say it mentioned only 3.
But you know the economy is vast.
No, we want to know were they 10, were they 15, were they 5?
Okay.
Because if you are last out of 4, it's not the same as being last out of 10.
That context is very important.
Now,
except to say, the insurance people, sometimes, a good number of the times, when your vehicle has a problem and you now want to claim the thing, then they are jumping around, giving you excuse, doing this, doing that. Maybe that is also part of the problem.
Not my insurance.
So this is a customer service survey. So maybe this is people's experience.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So people's experiences with these insurance companies, they have to do something about that.
Okay.
Because when people are hot and they want support and they are telling you funny stories.
Anyway, page 3 of the Daily Guide. The NSA director is hot. Now, the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament has ordered the immediate arrest of the Northern Regional Director and Accountant of the National Sports Authority. Now, the two are alleged to have squandered over 160,000 cedis of internally generated funds after they failed to pay the amount into the consolidated fund. The anomaly was captured in the 2022 Auditor General's report, which said that the Northern Regional Management of the NSA failed to lodge 160,000 cedis in the designated consolidated fund transit account of the Sports Authority. Now, there are very interesting videos going around on social on an exchange between the NSA boss, Professor Chumesi, and Honorable James Kluchi.
Let me give you the last story. Kinky prices hit 4 cedis as far back as November 2022. Teshi was the last man standing. And apparently the most expensive kinky in Accra is in Abelinkwe and Jowulu.
Are you serious?
Am I shocked? No.
It is in the story. Now the 2 cedi price of a ball of Ghanaian kinky was phased out of Accra as far back as November 2022, according to the Kinky Index. According to the index, by November last year, 2023, 1/3 of Kinky joints in Accra sold Kinky at 5 cedis. Teshi was the only place Kinky eaters could get a ball for 2 cedis.
Cool.
And then there were other interesting highlights. I did this on the point of view yesterday. Very, very interesting indeed. Samples were collected within 1 week in each calendar month, typically starting on the 15th day of August. And then we are told April was the last month where a 5 cedi Kinky was the month when the 5 cedi Kinky made its entry. By November, 1/3 of Kinky joints were selling for 5 cedis. In that same period, 2 cedi Kinky could no longer be found. Meanwhile, over the period, Kinky size has also shrunk, whilst Kinky price has risen up.
So Kinky is now, if you add 4 zeros is what?
You want to do? No, don't do that.
I mean, that is, and you see, it's so wrong that while they are reducing, their
ball size is
reducing,
and the price of Kinky is going up.
That is not right.
Yes. So that's the hope. The guy who did the survey search, the way the Kinky is going, very soon we have to eat 2 balls to be satisfied. 1 ball is not enough.
With 1 calendar.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conference.